So on the release day of the QLRC report, our team, along with some other parties, were invited to go along to a little briefing with the Queensland Minister for Health, Stephen Miles, and the Attorney General, Yvette. What ensued was pretty much a telling off of anyone who would have any concern whatsoever with the contents of the report and the ensuing bill. There seemed to be an absolute insistence that everything had been constructed around a national framework. So we put to them perhaps that they would have considered the national framework around informed consent guidelines when it comes to medical practice. But no provisions had been made, in fact, or protocols for women considering a termination whatsoever. In fact, it was considered that perhaps the doctor could just walk her through her options and support model. So we asked perhaps if the abortion providing doctor they thought would be the best person to provide independent counselling and support. Another question. So there's really no conscientious objection here being offered to medicos, if those medicos have to necessarily refer to one who has no conscientious objection. The answer was a bit odd, especially because some sort of reference was made to the fact that other medical specialists are forced to refer for a second opinion as well. I'm sorry, so in what other medical discipline is it appropriate that a doctor actually refer his patient to someone who will perform a procedure that he himself believes is not in the best interest of his patient? Okay, Health Minister, so what about in cases where doctors didn't really want to refer for sex-selective abortions? Cue turning bright red and mumbling. There'd have to be a discussion about whether or not sex-selective abortion was appropriate. So you think, Stephen Miles, that opting to terminate a pregnancy on the basis of gender is okay? It seemed like the real purpose of this particular gathering was just to tell all of us who had any concerns whatsoever with the outcome of the report needed to sit down, shut up, stay low for the next 2 months until we just pass this bill through. So that's just a little hint of what went down, and needless to say, we won't be able to sit down and shut up for the next 2 months. In fact, you'll be hearing a lot from us. So many more voices need to be heard yet in this debate. Too much is at stake.